come on over. Are you next to get your face painted? Yeah, fantastic. I'm so glad to see you. Hey, you look familiar to me. Have I painted your face before? Maybe not once, but twice? Yeah, it's so good to see you. Yeah, don't tell me. At the Samba Music Festival. Yeah, and then again at the Fall Festival. Yeah. Wow, well, it's great to see you. You're looking fantastic and so festive. Yeah, and I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names. Can you remind me of your name again? Okay, I will remember it this time. And I'm Poppy. I can't remember if I ever introduced myself before, but if we're going to keep meeting like this, we've got to get acquainted and be friends. Yeah. Are you enjoying the holiday fair today? Yeah, it really is festive and fun. I mean, I prefer to do events that are outside. I really like to do all the different festivals and, music events and things like that where I can be outdoors and connecting with people. But, for the winter season, it's a little harder to find those kinds of opportunities. And so I was happy to get to come here to this festive indoor gathering, and there's a lot going on. There's all kinds of craft vendors and food, and they've got this festive music playing, and yeah, it's been a really fun day so far. Yeah, I am absolutely happy to get you all decorated yourself. Yeah, they're decorating cookies over there, they're decorating the tree over there, and here we can get you decorated in any way that you'd like. Yeah, so have a seat, just make yourself comfortable. Yeah, I'm just, getting my things organized in between people, and we have quite a few face painters, as you can see, all along this wall, so we've got plenty of time. We don't have to be in any rush, and we can really take our time. So let me show you my color palettes. It is my traditional palette that I've been using at all of the different events where we have seen each other. We've got all the basic colors. I do have something a little special. I do have some peppermint glitter that we can put on your face to finish things off if you would like. But let me get a brush just to kind of show you here. Yeah, we've got, kind of the traditional Christmas colors. We've got some nice reds and greens, if that's what you are going for. We've also got some nice blues and whites. If you wanted to do kind of like a snow theme, we could do snowflakes. We could do kind of like a snow fairy, like a sort of whimsical winter kind of theme if you wanted to. I've also done quite a few reindeer for kids today. So we've got the red nose for Rudolph, if you're into that. I've done a couple of snowmen. So we did some white on the face. I've got a bigger container of white if you're interested in that. I've got yellow for stars. We could do some holly berries with the red and greens as well. Yeah, really anything you're thinking, and it doesn't even have to be stereotypically holiday colors. I could do packages in any colors you like. I did one little girl's face with some nice colorful packages, and there was a little boy that specifically wanted a purple package with a pink bow painted on their cheek. So yeah, we've had a lot of fun today with all kinds of different things. Anything you can imagine, we can work with. Anything off the top of your head that you had in mind? Okay, some snowflakes. Yeah, we could definitely do some snowflakes. Maybe we could do the snowflakes down around your brow on this side. That would be really pretty, kind of cascading down around your face. That would be pretty. Yeah, okay. Oh, and a poinsettia flower. Yeah, that would be beautiful. Well, how about maybe we do the poinsettia over here on this cheek, and maybe we could do, oh yeah, some pine. Oh yeah, that would be great. Let me see, yeah, this green or maybe this deep green. We could do some pine boughs around the poinsettia. Yeah, and then you'd like some stars. Okay, we'll do some gold stars down here on your other cheek. That would be gorgeous. Yeah, I remember you always kind of like to go with the more botanical themes, kind of with the natural world. That's fantastic. That's really my favorite kind of thing to do for people. So yeah, that sounds fun. Okay, all right. So yeah, you just get cozy there. Let me just get all of my brushes organized here. Make sure everything is cleaned up here from last time. My little, okay. Yeah, so what have you done so far today at the festival? Have you done any of the crafts that they have set up? Oh yeah, you made some ornaments? That's fantastic. Yeah, they have, yeah, you did the beading ornaments. I know, aren't those fun? That's so old school. That really makes me think of being a little kid. Yeah, where you can make a beaded candy cane or a beaded wreath. Yeah, oh, that's super fun. That's super fun. And oh yeah, and then you went to the painting station. Yeah, that's really fun. They have all those little canvases and kind of some patterns for you so you can do whatever you want. What did your painting? What did you do for your painting? Yeah, I should have guessed. I should have guessed that you did some pine trees and like a forest theme. Oh, that sounds great. That sounds really, really cool. Okay, well, let's get started on your snowflakes first. I'm going to put this big brush over here later for the glitter in case you want to get in on that. Let me see. So for your snowflakes, do you want to keep in this kind of blue theme? We can do some of this darker blue, and then I think both of these are really nice for like the accents, and then of course I will get some white in there as well for the true snowflake feel. Any other colors you want to have? Of course, these don't have to be traditional snowflakes. So, oh, yeah, the violet. Yeah, let's get a little violet in there. There can be some violet bluey tones to the snow. I think that would be great. Okay, cool. All right, so let me just, actually before we get to the paint, got a little ahead of myself here. Let me just do a little bit of kind of measuring up, a little bit of sizing up here. Okay, to think about how many I want to do. If I want to do like maybe, I don't know, do you think maybe 3 snowflakes? Maybe we can do 3 and then a little scattering of just some other, little snow flutters down below. Yeah, we could do some little dots for some little snow flutters. Let me see. So I think if I want to do a big one kind of there, right there in the corner, and then start down. Yeah, so if I leave enough space there, do that one there, and then there, we can do the little flutters on the side. Okay, I think that's a good plan. Okay, I'm going to start with this blue. Yeah, I'll get a nice shape in here. So what have you had to eat? That's the big question. Yeah. Several food vendors here. Lots of yummy things. Oh, that sounds good. Yeah, I definitely like to do the savory as well as the sweet. There's a pretzel vendor over there doing the homemade hot pretzels with like mustard sauce and a bunch of different cool savory dipping sauces. Yeah, those are really good. Yeah, okay, I'll keep bombing it right in there. And then of course you have to visit the cookie tables. Oh my goodness. There are so many delicacies here, I kind of go in myself for the spicier cookies, like the ginger cookies and molasses cookies, the ones that have all the warming kind of, chai spices in them. Yeah, good old gingerbread and that sort of thing. Yeah, that's what I really like. So I'll definitely be filling up a little basket with some of those to take home. Okay, and then we'll get a little bit of the white in. So, are you actually doing any shopping? Or are you already finished your shopping? Here, I'm going to come down here. Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah, I'm kind of the same, actually. I've gotten to the point in my life where I don't really do a lot of shopping. I've come to an understanding with all the people in my life that, we don't really need a lot of material things. None of us really need that much. So we kind of, let me just do right up there. Yeah, we kind of, take the emphasis off of shopping and off of stuff. And we really focus our time on just being together and having fun, doing fun activities together. And it is fun, it's fun to check out places like this where there's all these cool handmade things from local, artisans, and there are things you can make yourself, like those ornaments and things that are just simple, and kind of harken back to a more, a more childlike kind of Christmas instead of things that are just so commercial. Yeah, I have a little niece who's 4 this year, and she is just so into everything. She's into the stories, she's into the books, she's into the crafts, and she's excited to get presents, sure, but it's really I think the true spirit of love and care and kind of the adventure of Christmas, that I really like to, and I most like to focus in on. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, there's a mirror right there. Do you want to take a peek? Yeah, does that look okay to you? Okay, is there anything you want me to do? A little more of the violet down in the bottom? Yeah, I can just do a few more little, oh yeah, that's nice. A little accent of the snowflakes all around on that side. Yeah, okay, that looks beautiful. Okay, let me clear that off. Get another brush here. Get this green brush for working with our greens. And now that I'm thinking about it, if you want me to do the poinsettia on this cheek, maybe I could just do a whole little pine bough down around your brow on the other side. So you'd have the stars over here, and then this pine bough coming down on this side to meet with your poinsettia and the few little holly berries and things we'll do there. Does that sound fun? I think that would look really pretty. You're going to look like a woodland winter fairy by the time we're finished. It's going to be great. Okay, let me see. So for the pine, what do you think? I've got this green down here. Yeah, and then I've got this green and this green and this green. Really 1, 2, 3, 4 greens. I mean, that one's a bit light. That's not really a pine green. That one maybe too as well, maybe to be a little too light. Between this one and this one maybe. Yeah, I think maybe that one is the more true piney one, and then we can accent a little bit with the darker one and with the light ones as well. We'll see how it goes. Okay, good choice. Okay, so I'm just going to, let me see. Okay, let's get some of that going there, and then, oh yeah, that's gonna look great. Yeah, I'm gonna do, you know what, actually, before I do that, I think I want to do a little bit of brown, down the center, just to give me the line sort of the branch, we'll get a little bit of, actually, I started with that brown, but I think I like that brown better, so I'll just blend them a little bit together, and just do this kind of line down the side of your brow to be sort of the center of the branch, and I'll do a few little branches kind of off to the side, like that. Yeah, okay, that'll be great, so I'll put that aside in case I need the brown anymore. And then we'll get the green, and just start doing our little pine boughs here. Yeah, I just love pine this time of year. I love the smell of it. I love it having, a tree or a wreath or whatever it is you like inside to have some of that pine smell. And then, I like to have pine as a little treat too. Yeah. Have you ever had pine tea? Have you ever made tea with pine needles? Oh my gosh, it's really good. Yeah, it sounds kind of wild, but you can harvest pretty much any kind of pine. Is edible and harvestable. I mean, of course, double check, make sure it is, what you're getting. I always use white pine, which grows very prolifically around here. I have it in my yard, and so I always just harvest a little bit of the white pine. And you know, you can just trim the needles off, put them in a teapot, pour boiling water over them, and make tea. Yeah, it tastes kind of citrusy actually, and it has a lot of vitamin C in it. It's really good for you. Yeah. And then I also make a cordial every year too. Yeah, a pine cordial. It's delicious with a little bit of honey, and then, you know, you just use a little alcohol to preserve it, and it's really delicious. So, okay. Yeah, you know, I'm giving you all kinds of wild ideas. You know, look it up online. Look up what you can do with white pine. A lot of cool things you can do. There's actually also this recipe that one of the people I've taken herbalism classes from has for a white pine and rosemary nougat. It's like a candy that you can make, kind of like a, you know, like a toffee. She calls it a nougat with the white pine and rosemary and nuts in it, and that just sounds spectacular. I've never actually made it, but I've been eyeing up that recipe for a long time. So maybe this will be the year that I finally make it. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit more the lighter green down around there. And I think I'll do just a little bit. I'll go back to my brush. Where's my brush I was using for the white? Go back. Actually, I'll just use this and do a little bit of white along the edges. Yeah, you know, to make it look a little snow-covered. To make it look just a little snow-covered. I think that'll be great. Okay, cool. So your pine is looking good on this side. We've got your pine bough on this brow, kind of down the side. And your stars, excuse me, your snowflakes are there. So if you want to take a look, does that look good? Does that look good? Yeah, let me just clean up my brushes here a little bit so I can have them be fresh for the next round of colors. You see what you think? Okay. Clean these up. Okay. And then if I want to do that. Yeah, and I can smell the hot cider in the air. Oh my gosh, yeah. They've got mulled cider at that booth over there. Amazing, amazing. Yeah, it's local cider from a local farm, from a local orchard, and you know, they've been over there letting all the spices infuse into it and everything. It is really, really quite delicious. You should definitely give that a try. And then of course, there are several different places selling hot cocoa with lots of different flavors. I've already had 2 hot cocos today. I've had a peppermint hot cocoa, and then I've had one infused with vanilla. Oh my gosh, so delicious. So, you know, can't have too many cocos on a day like today. Okay, all right, there I've got a fresh set of freshly cleaned brushes there. And then let's see, so let's work on the poinsettia flower that you wanted here. I'm going to use this and just kind of look at your cheek there. Is it okay if I just, yeah, okay, just kind of, oh my goodness, you have really soft skin. Yeah, you're doing a great job at keeping moisturized during this dry winter season. Your skin is really just lovely. Okay, I just want to see. Yeah, I think if all right, that should space out about right. If I just do it there, the back of that, and that'll look pretty balanced, I think, if I do it. Yeah, with that. Okay, all right, cool. So for the poinsettia, I've got this, that's kind of a too orangey of a red, I think. There's this red, and then this is kind of a more brick red. I think this is the one. I think this is the one for the poinsettia flower leaves, and then we'll accent it with some gold and some white. I think that'll be great. So, okay, let me get a little red here, and we'll just do the petal, 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 yeah, all right, all of your petals. Yeah, this is a lovely red color. Yeah. Oh, thank you. You like my hat? You like my hat? Yeah, well, I love this color. I love this kind of like red and white blended yarn that it's made from. And if you can see across the front, yeah, it says Lunasa. and that's actually the name of a favorite musical group of mine. Yeah, they're an Irish group, a traditional Irish group. They play traditional Irish tunes and instruments, and oh my gosh, they are amazing. They are amazing. Yeah, sometimes they actually play around here in the winter, so I'm keeping an eye on their schedule. And I bought this hat at one of their shows, you know, because I'm kind of a groupie. And I think it's really festive, and I really enjoy their music. I obviously enjoy music, as you can imagine, as I think you've gleaned by now, because I love to frequent all the festivals with all different types of music. Yeah, I'm really hoping to make it to the Renaissance Fair in the spring. Yeah, I heard they're looking for some extra face painters for the Renaissance Fair, so I'm gonna try to get a gig there in the spring. So do you ever go to that? Oh yeah, cool. Okay, well maybe I will see you there. That would be really fun. Yeah, I'll have to get a cool outfit together for that. You know, that's worth dressing up for sure. It's always a lot of fun. Okay, so there are your poinsettia petals. Let me just clean this off. We'll get a little bit of green for the leaves. And accent those. That looks great. Yeah, okay, that's a pretty simple one to do. Do a little, you know, I do want to do a little, gold, just a little gold, kind of in the center for like the little stamens and that. Yeah, we'll get that in a little glittery gold there. Okay, great. Okay, do you like how that looks? Okay, sweet. Well, I think that looks awesome. And then I'll just balance you out on this side with a few little stars, and I think you will be looking cosmically festive and really ready. Okay, so let me see how I use this. Now for the stars, I'm thinking this really warm gold. How does that sound? Yeah, the really warm gold, and maybe I'll highlight it with this yellow and a little of that yellow, and then don't worry, I haven't forgotten about the glitter. We'll definitely get the glitter out, and we'll do that over the stars and the snowflakes, and we can do it all over your whole face if you want to. So, okay, let's get these. The yellow for the stars, yeah. Just do, I'll do kind of a, you know, a four-pointed star, but with a tall center, and then a triangle on each side, and then a long sort of tail. Yeah. Oh, like a shooting star? Sure. Yeah, I can do one of them as kind of like a shooting star. Yeah, that'll be great, actually. Yeah, I'll do that one here. Do that kind of as a shooting star. Yeah, I'll make them sort of long-tailed stars, kind of more like meteors. And do that down along the bottom. Oh, yeah, that looks super cool. You always have such creative ideas. I love getting to collaborate. You know, sometimes people just want really simple things, and that's fine. And sometimes people have really specific ideas about what they want me to do, and, you know, I always hope I can live up to it and, you know, give people what they want. But, you know, the kids are always the best because they're just thrilled with, you know, getting to have something on their face, and they like the sensation of it, I think. They find it relaxing. I mean, I find it relaxing. Usually all of us here who are doing the face painting, you know, we haven't had time yet today, but usually towards the end of the day, we'll do face paint for each other because, you know, we want to enjoy it too. Okay, I'll get a little bit of extra yellow there. Yeah, they are going to have here in about 15 minutes, I think, they're going to have a carol sing, which is always fun. I really like singing with other people at Christmas, you know, whatever your background is or whatever type of music you have listened to at the holidays. I think it can be fun to do that. They're actually going to have songs from a lot of different traditions, so I think that'll be neat. And they have some instrumentalists that are going to accompany us, so that'll be fun. So maybe I'll see you over there. Okay, let's see, one last little bit of that. Yeah, I think that looks good. Do you like that? Okay, great, cool. So I think we'll be finished with the color palette. Unless you think there's anything else you need there. Do you think there's anything else you need? maybe a little bit of a lighter green around the pine, just a little bit extra. Okay, we'll just do that right there. Yeah, we'll just highlight that a little bit. Yeah, that looks great. Okay, so I'm going to put down the colors, and then I'm going to get out this little tin I have of peppermint glitter. Yeah, it's really fun. It's really sparkly. It's got silver and white and just a little bit of red in the glitter, and it just really highlights everything. Makes you look super festive and fun. So let me just get this open. Yeah, well, I'm so glad that you've been enjoying yourself today, and I'm really glad that I got to see you again. Yeah, it's really fun to connect with different people at the events that I work at, and it's one of the reasons I do it. You know, I really like the sense of community. It's really, really nice, and this actually smells really nice too. It's got a vanilla peppermint scent to it. Yeah, it's really, really nice. So, okay, I'm just going to get this little bit. Yeah, it's just, clear other than the glitter. I'm just going to get a little bit of this in here, and I'm just going to go right down around, right around the top on the side, right around your snowflakes. That'll be great. And then I'll do a little bit on your stars. Great, and then do you want it on the other side too? Yeah, full on glitter, why not? Okay, let me just tap it there a little bit, get a little bit. A little bit on this side, we'll do it. Give you some sparkly pine boughs so they look sparkly and snowy. And then we'll just do a little right over your poinsettia flower. Yeah, oh, and I didn't do the holly berries. Do you think that's enough? Yeah, okay, we don't want to overdo it too much. Yeah, I think just with the poinsettia, yeah, I did it a little bigger there, and maybe than I was originally planning, but I think it looks nice. And this glitter, what's great about it is it actually kind of helps to set the paint a little bit too, so it'll last really nicely for the rest of the day. And, then it does wash off at the end of the day, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay. Are you looking good? Let me see. I just want to look a tiny bit more here and see how you're looking. Yeah, I think you look fantastic. Okay, let me put this brush down. I'll get the lid back on my peppermint glitter here. It's been very popular today, very popular. Yeah. Oh, of course, you're welcome. It's my pleasure to help you to look so festive and lovely and fun. I really enjoy doing this, and thanks for letting me get to use my creativity a little bit and, use you as my beautiful canvas. I really appreciate it. Yeah, okay, so maybe I'll see you over at the singing. I think I'm going to grab a mug of that hot cider right now to make sure I have that so that I'm ready to, use my voice. And I'm sure I'll see you around. This isn't as big as some of the festivals where we've been. This is a little more of an enclosed venue, so I'm sure I'll see you around. Yeah, happy holidays. Enjoy yourself.